Hello everyone, this video I'm going to show you ways to get out of trouble. Flying can be challenging sometimes and we as pilots can get in trouble. So it's better to have training and to have a plan for when things go wrong. If you're a VFR pilot and you're getting into clouds, condition like this will be maybe the last chance you have to make a 180 and get out of trouble. If you continue, you will get into IMC. For a VFR pilot, making a 180-degree turn to get out of the clouds, it's really difficult. If the pilot is not proficient at the maneuver, it is better to keep wings level and center the ball. Do not turn, fly the plane. Do not add power or reduce power or climb or descend. If you have the airplane under control, squawk 7700. It is an in-flight emergency. Contact ATC. They can direct you towards better weather, maybe tell you to climb, and you will be VFR on top, and then they can vector you out of the clouds. Or ATC might vector you to an approach or a safer area, so you get under the clouds and out of danger of terrain near you. Don't try to save this on your own. Contact ATC and declare an emergency. This is not IMC, but it is smoke. If you see these conditions, don't go down into valleys to land. Just get away from this area. Let's say you're flying along a valley and you find there's a box canyon, so you have to make 180-degree turn to get out of there. If there is room, the easy way to do this is slow down, 20 degrees of flaps, and make your turn. But if there is no much room, it gets more complicated. You'll need to make a tighter turn, and during the turn do not pull, so you will lose altitude, but you will make a very tight turn. By no pulling, you will never stall. If you don't pull on the yoke, you will not stall. It is the pilot who stall the airplane. The airplane will not stall on his own. The slower you go, the tighter the turn. I like to do this with 30 degrees of flaps in the Cessna 182 and also in the Cessna 170. Key factor on this canyon turn is you have to have some altitude, so you can let the airplane drop. You're making your tight turn, but you're not pulling, so you will lose some altitude. Training this maneuver about 1,000 feet above a valley can give you an idea of how tight you can make the turn. Sooner or later, during your flying, you will have to make a go around. It will be something you don't like, or maybe ATC tells you to go around, or an animal on the landing area, so it's better to be prepared. Think of it as a touch and go without touching the wheels on the pavement or on the ground. When in doubt, go around, if the conditions and the place allows it. I aborted this landing on the gravel bar because I didn't like what I see. It wasn't too clear, there were too many birds. So add power. Once you get speed, then you will start retracting flaps and climbing. Bad mistake it is to retract the flaps too early and the airplane will sink.
So he didn't, he knew he was lined up.
Before landing anywhere, you have to be aware if there is a go around or there is absolutely no option to go around. If there is no option, stick to the plan. Like, for example, this landing strip, there is no option to go around, so no matter what, once you're committed to land, you have to land.
Fly it up the hill as hard as you could.
Here is another strip that has no go around. If there's no go around, you have to keep the discipline of not going around. You can watch it in this video, same strip. It is my first landing, there is some tailwind, and the owner of the strip told me, no matter what, do not go around. I put the airplane sideways to try to slow down the most, but I did not go around. In the worst case, the airplane would have been broken, but doing a bad go around can kill you. Before landing off airport, I will scout the area for obstacles, but sometimes there are some hidden obstacles. No matter how slow and low you fly, you won't see. When the gravel or the sand gets accumulated in some areas, you don't see them. It becomes like a bump or a lip. It will throw you up in the air again. In this case, this gravel bar is wide, so it is not a problem. And for the takeoff, you can pick your line for a clear takeoff roll. The problem is when the gravel bar is narrow and this happens. I just found a new very small gravel bar and we're going to go explore. So I overflew this gravel bar, first looking for wires and power lines, then lower and slower looking for big rocks or logs. The only thing I saw were like small brush, and I'm thinking a big tires will take that no problem. We are always learning. So I learned that the brush can catch sand and gravel and make a bump, which is what's happening in this landing. Touched down smoothly, but the bump threw me back in the air at slow speed. I corrected with rudder and aileron, and the landing was not such a big problem, but I was worried for the takeoff because I didn't want to go full power with that bump. Didn't know if it would throw me towards the water or not. So my option was to make a very short takeoff, and there was not much room, as you can see. Why practicing a lot and being proficient can save you when you make a mistake and land in a place like this. I decided to avoid the brush with the bump, so I used a straight line, which was shorter, but it made me more comfortable.
Northeast practice area, Cessna 172 Romeo Alpha is about 2 to the west of Carnation, climbing through 2,700 for 3,500 Northeast practice area.
Have exceptional judgment, you will need exceptional skill.
That one was pretty tight and challenging.
Better to have good judgment than skill. Downdrafts. This is typical in this kind of approaches with a ravine at the edge. My recommendation is to come very high, and if the downdraft comes in this kind of airports, and if you get a downdraft, push the nose down and add power. This airport is in San Jose, Costa Rica. Also has a ravine on the approach, so it has pretty good downdrafts, and these days also gusty. But I do this airport when it's windy. I approach very high to avoid the downdrafts from the threshold of runway 9 where the ravine is. I aim for the middle of the runway, so I'm clear of that, but still there's some gusts, so you can hear the power settings. I'm changing the power settings to fight the gusts. I'm using full flaps in this landing to try to touch down at the minimum speed. Windy conditions, full flaps, no flaps, is a preference for what the pilot feels more comfortable. In my case, in this particular one, I was using full flaps, and you can see the airspeed indicator, how it's bouncing, so it's pretty gusty. You can hear the power changes. Landing in these kind of conditions, don't be at the mercy of the wind. Use that power to fight the gusts. Hope you like this video, and if you like, subscribe. And if you want to support Backcountry 182, please join me on Patreon. Thanks for watching. It is very easy to join, to be a patron of Backcountry 182. Go to the YouTube channel. On the right hand side, there is the link, and then it takes you to the Patreon page. Here you can see all the tiers and what is all about, the support for Backcountry 182 YouTube channel. Also, another way to access the Patreon link is in the description of the video I put in YouTube. On Backcountry 182 channel, there is a link for Patreon, so just click on that and it will take you to the page. Thank you for watching. It would be amazing if you guys are interested and give some support.